You think it's just bloating or stubborn belly fat, but it could be your liver crying for help. Most people miss these warning signs, and so do their doctors. These 3 symptoms are silent at first, but deadly over time. I'm going to show you how to catch them early and reverse the damage before it's too late. You see, your liver is your silent superhero. Consider your liver your metabolic control center. It detoxifies your blood, helps you burn fat, balances your hormones, and it converts food into energy. But here's the scary part. You could lose up to 70% of liver function and never feel a thing. That's why liver issues sneak up like a thief in the night until it's too late. Doctors often miss this because they're simply testing liver enzymes, ALT, GGT, AST, and they're looking at these reference ranges from a standard reference range while your liver is underperforming and your body is struggling. So here are the 3 hidden signs your liver is in trouble and then how to repair your liver. The first hidden sign, right shoulder or even neck pain. This one surprises a lot of people and even most doctors overlook it. If you experience chronic tension or even dull pain in your right shoulder or neck, or even under the right side of your rib cage, your liver could be the reason. Here's why. Your liver obviously sits under the right side of your rib cage, and it shares nerve pathways with your diaphragm and shoulder through something called referred pain. So when your liver or gallbladder is inflamed or congested and backed up, that irritation sends signals up to the right shoulder and trapezius area. You might think it's a pulled muscle, soreness from a workout, bad posture, or even stress, but it's actually often liver overload. Here are 3 main things that cause it and some easy solutions. Number 1, processed fats. These are also called processed seed oils or vegetable oils. Unfortunately, these fats are found in 80% of our entire food supply here in the United States. And if you're watching or listening to this and you live outside of the United States, guess what? It's prevalent globally in most countries. These rancid fats are directly causing liver inflammation. Do you know why? Because of the way they're processed. They're highly inflammatory during the processing. And a lot of people cook with these oils. I'll give you the entire list in a minute, but they cook with these oils, making them even more inflammatory. And you might think, well, my liver could detoxify these bad fats. They could get rid of them. Not so fast. Do you know the half-life for these bad fats? It's 680 days. 2 years. All right, let me unpack that real quick. That means if you stopped eating these 8 fats I'm going to share with you today, about 2 years later, half of these rancid inflammatory fats will be around your liver cells, still suffocating them and creating inflammation. That's why they're so detrimental. I believe they're worse than smoking and sugar. So here's the 8 fats you want to remove from your diet starting today so your liver could start to heal. We have canola oil called rapeseed oil in the UK. We have corn oil and cottonseed oil. Then we have sunflower, soybean, safflower oil. And then we have rice bran oil and grapeseed oil. I'm going to add one more shocking fat that also causes liver inflammation. That's going to be fish oil supplementation. Most fish oil is rancid. It is unstable. It's an inflammatory fat. That doesn't mean you shouldn't eat small, wild-caught fatty fish. That's fine. I'm saying not to take the fish oil supplementation. So what do you swap these fats for to heal your liver and regenerate those liver cell membranes faster so you could remove those fats faster and lower inflammation? You're going to swap those bad fats for saturated fats and monounsaturated fats. That's going to be butter, ghee, beef tallow, duck fat, coconut oil, olive oil, and avocado oil. Those are much safer for your body and for your liver. The second thing that's causing this liver inflammation is too much fructose and hidden sugars overwhelming your glycogen storage. Glycogen storage is just a fancy word for sugar reserves. Your body has a backup system to store sugar in your liver and in your muscle cells. When you consume too much fructose, I don't know if you knew this, but fructose is a type of sugar that is 90% metabolized by your liver. And if your liver is already struggling because of seed oils and toxins and other things we're going to speak about, and you add fructose into the mix, you can't metabolize the fructose. What ends up happening is liver fat accumulates. This is one of the leading causes to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. You're going to find fructose in fruit, in processed foods that contain high fructose corn syrup. You're going to find fructose in fruit juices and green juices as well. So I would avoid fruit juices, number one. I would avoid high fructose corn syrup altogether, and I would avoid even green smoothies and juices. If you choose to have fruit, eat it in its whole food version and go with lower glycemic fruits like organic blueberries. The third cause of why your liver could be inflamed and you're getting shoulder and neck pain and even rib cage pain is going to be sluggish bile flow from low-fat dressings that typically contain seed oils and even gallbladder stress, especially if you don't have a gallbladder. So what can you do? Here's how you reverse it. Number one, add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, dilute it with water, drink it through a straw before your meals to thin bile. Number two, add bitter-rich foods. Bitter-rich foods stimulate healthy bile production within the liver, which helps it detoxify the body and helps it break down fat. My favorite bitter-rich foods are going to be arugula, lemons, limes, artichokes, radicchio, dandelion greens, milk thistle, and herbs like rosemary, thyme, and basil. A third thing you can do is consider adding 𝙁𝙀𝙏 as a supplement to your supplement protocol. 𝙁𝙀𝙏 is a very important nutrient for your liver. It helps support the liver. It helps with bile flow. It helps with lowering cell inflammation within that liver. So if you want to add a supplement into the mix, I would get a high quality 𝙁𝙀𝙏 supplement. The one I use is from Body Bio, and I'll drop a link and a coupon code for 15% off their 𝙁𝙁𝙏 product in the notes down below. Fourth thing is to ditch the seed oils altogether, replace them with the healthy fats. And lastly, you might want to consider using a castor oil pack over your liver at night. You want to get a high quality castor oil. I've been using the one from doTERRA. You could get that over at ketocampoils.com, and you simply pour that organic unrefined castor oil into a castor oil pack, which you could also buy. Tie that pack over your liver, which is the right side of your rib cage. Go to bed with it. This soothes and detoxifies the liver overnight. Within weeks, you're going to notice less shoulder tension because the inflammation at the source, the liver, is starting to be removed. Now, before I get to hidden sign number 2 and 3 and some more solutions, I want to share something with you. If you're bloated, foggy, or stuck with lower belly fat, your liver is already overloaded. As I mentioned, most doctors won't catch it even if you're already in trouble. But inside my Fat Loss Academy, we go straight to the root and start fixing it day one. I have a 30-day fat loss reset that you start with in the Fat Loss Academy. Weeks 1 and 2 is called the Fat Drainage Protocol. It's built to decongest your liver and restore its ability to burn fat and detox. You'll follow my exact list of foods to eliminate and my daily gut and liver repair meals. This is included in this document, which you get with your membership today. A bunch of liver healing, fat burning recipes. There's about 21 in this document you'll get as a member of the Fat Loss Academy. Weeks 3 and 4 is called the Fasting and Habit Rebuild Phase. This includes my favorite 18-6 and 24-hour fasting protocols, plus critical morning and evening practices that rebuild liver function, hormonal balance, and long-term fat burning. And I have a special deal for those watching and listening on this video only. If you join the Fat Loss Academy right now, you'll get into a 1-hour question and answer call with me live on a Zoom call. This is a private session that I charge $5,000 for, and it's free if you act today. Look, this isn't optional. This is the liver wake-up call no doctor is giving you. The link is down below, or scan the QR code on the screen for those watching on YouTube, or simply type in meltfatmethod.com in your browser and join the Fat Loss Academy. Now let's get to the second warning sign. Hidden warning sign number 2, waking up between 1 and 3 a.m. in the morning and even night sweats. Chinese medicine calls this time, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., liver time in Chinese medicine. You see, this is your liver's detox window. It goes to work for you while you're supposed to be at rest sleeping. When your liver is overloaded, whether it's from alcohol, toxins, medications, or processed foods, it struggles to clear the blood. That excess energy wakes you up. You might even notice your heart racing, brain fog in the morning, or even vivid dreams, believe it or not. All signs your liver is trying to catch up overnight. Here's why this happens. Your liver stores sugar. I mentioned that. It's called your glycogen stores. This is to maintain blood glucose while you sleep. When the liver is insulin resistant or a fatty liver, it cannot release that glycogen smoothly. So your blood sugar crashes, cortisol spikes, and bam, you're wide awake. How do you fix this? Step number 1, no food at least 3 hours before bed. Kitchen is closed. You want to give your liver space to detox. You want to give your body some time to digest that food. So if you go to bed at 10 p.m. at night, your last bite of food should be no later than 7 p.m. at night, at least 3 hours, no food before bed. You also want to avoid alcohol and, if possible, medication, although work with your doctor on that, but all alcohol and medication you want to avoid right before sleep. You also want to support your detox pathways, including your liver, during the day. You could do this by walking and moving your body, sweating, doing dry brushing for the lymphatic system or rebounding for the lymphatic system, and even getting into a sauna and letting your body sweat. You might want to also consider taking a high-quality magnesium right before bed to calm the nervous system. I use the one from 𝙈𝙀𝙏𝙀𝘼𝑗𝑟, and they have 7 different types of magnesium. It's highly absorbable. You might want to take 2 capsules before bed, and you'll notice a difference. I have a coupon code and a link for 𝙈𝙀𝙏𝙀𝙼𝑗𝑟, which I'll drop down below. It's called MAG Breakthrough. And the last thing you can do is add a little bit of lemon water or unflavored electrolytes earlier in the evening to support bioflow. Maybe before your last meal of the day, you drink either lemon water or unflavored electrolytes before that meal. When your liver is functioning well, you'll start sleeping through the night again, deeply and peacefully, and you'll wake up with a slimmer waistline. Hidden sign number 3 that your liver is struggling: bloating or fat around the upper belly. You might think that puffiness around your belly button or upper abdomen is just bloating, but this is often liver distress showing on the outside. You see, the liver plays a direct role in fat metabolism. When it's overloaded, fat doesn't get processed. Instead, it gets stored around the organs, especially the upper abdomen. This is called visceral fat, and it's one of the most dangerous types of fat on your body. It's linked to heart disease, insulin resistance, and fatty liver itself. Doctors often mislabel this as central obesity when it's really metabolic congestion. Here's some other clues to pay attention to. You feel full even after smaller meals. You get nauseous after eating fats, or even get diarrhea or loose stools. You burp often or feel pressure right underneath the ribs. How do you reverse this? Okay, fasting and keto flexing. You want to eliminate snacking in between meals. You want to condense your 2 or 3 meals that you have every day within an 8-hour eating window and stay fasted outside of that window. You also want to lower your carbohydrate intake under 100 grams total per day, or even better, under 50 grams total per day, to get into ketosis, which pulls fat from your liver and lowers inflammation. Number 2, as I mentioned earlier, ditch all fructose, including whole fruit if you suspect you have this issue. This is the real villain. Some studies suggest that fructose can even trigger fatty liver faster than alcohol. Speaking of alcohol, you want to get rid of alcohol altogether until you heal your liver, or at the very least, minimize that alcohol. The worst offenders for alcohol is going to be wine and beer. The third thing you want to do is have high quality protein with every meal. High quality protein like animal-based protein contains all essential amino acids, including glycine, taurine, and methionine from collagen, eggs, and beef, and all of this rebuilds liver tissue. Use those bitter-rich foods I mentioned earlier with all your meals, and even add sulfur foods daily. These include garlic, onions, broccoli, dandelion greens. All of this helps the detox pathways. Number 5, good news for my coffee drinkers: drink an organic, medium roasted black coffee, unsweetened. Studies show, including a study from Harvard, that it reduces the risk of fatty liver by up to 49%. But it needs to be a high quality coffee that's not contaminated. It's not the coffee you find at Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. It needs to be a quality coffee that tests for contaminants. It's medium roasted, which has a high amount of chlorogenic acid, which detoxes the liver, helps you burn fat. So the one I personally use is from Purity Coffee. You could get their coffee beans at 15% off over at ketocampcoffee.com and use the coupon code KETOCAMP for 15% off. I'll drop that in the notes down below. When you follow these tips and your liver clears fat efficiently, that belly bloat deflates and energy skyrockets. Now I'm going to share some other hidden factors damaging your liver. Before I do, I want to give you 3 examples of students of mine, my Fat Loss Academy students, who have applied what you've already learned so far in this lesson and some of the results they've achieved. Check out Tony Lazzardi. He was diabetic, fatty liver disease, very much overweight. And this is a photo of him for those watching on YouTube 6 months into my program. He's reversed his diabetes. The pants don't even fit him anymore. And he's looking great. His liver has healed. Then we have Carrie Hamilton. You could see her before and after. She looks like a completely different person. She weighed 222 pounds at her highest. Now, after the help of the Fat Loss Academy, she's around 154 pounds. And she says, life is good, my friends, really, really good. Well, she looks amazing. And lastly, we have Russ Pankey, who lost over 200 pounds. And his before and after looks absolutely incredible. Look, the system works. If you want a step-by-step system with some bonuses and some meal plans of foods to eat, plus the 60-minute Q&A with me as a bonus, if you join today, then head over to meltfatresults.com or scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description box below. I can't wait to start working with you. With that being said, here are some other things damaging your liver. Medications, even things like Tylenol, by the way. It's actually one of the top causes of liver failure. Now, I would never tell you to get off your medication, and none of this is medical advice, but I just want you to be aware of this. Then we have pesticides and glyphosate. It's called Roundup. It's called herbicides. These are usually found in non-organic foods, but the foods that are the most contaminated with glyphosate that you want to avoid are going to be all grains. This includes wheat bread, oatmeal, and this also includes soy and corn. Probably a good idea to avoid all grains, including wheat, soy, corn, and all oatmeal. Remember, your liver doesn't complain loudly. It whispers. And most doctors are only listening for the screams. Remove the interference and your body will heal. And here's the most important thing that I haven't even shared yet. You know, it's been said, Chinese medicine and other health authorities, that when you hold on to anger and hate and resentfulness, it actually leads to liver inflammation. That's right. That might sound woo-woo to some people, and that's okay if you feel that way. But I'll give you an antidote here. The fastest way to get out of a hateful, angry, inflammatory, cortisol-driven state is to take vitamin G. Vitamin G puts your body in an anti-inflammatory state. It heals your liver because it allows you to lower cortisol and produce oxytocin. So everything I shared is amazing. It works. But you want to add vitamin G. I don't have a link or a coupon code because vitamin G is the practice, the feeling of gratitude. So every day, every morning, think of something you're grateful for. Add that to your protocol and your liver will heal. Now, I'm going to address the top questions you submitted on this topic. Before I do, I want to give you a resource. These are 5 vegetables you must avoid. Look, I believe you've been lied to. Some of the healthiest vegetables you eat are silently wrecking your gut, inflaming your liver, and locking fat around your belly. So I put together a free guide breaking down the 5 vegetables you must avoid if you want real fat loss and what to eat instead for a metabolism reset. This is the truth your doctor will never tell you, but your belly fat already knows. Click the first link in the description box below, or if you're watching on YouTube, simply scan the QR code on the screen to grab your avoid list now. Less inflammation, less confusion, and a lot less belly fat in 7 days or less. Now let's get to your questions. If I wake up between 1 and 3 a.m. every night, how long does it take to fix that once I support my liver? That should take a couple of weeks, sometimes 30 days, but there's something else you can do here to give you immediate relief. You could grab a tablespoon of unrefined organic raw honey and put a little bit of some sea salt. And if you wake up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or 3 a.m. wired and tired, have a tablespoon of the honey with the sea salt. It'll calm cortisol and help you get back to bed. You could also do this as a preventative measure and do this before bedtime as well. What's the best time of day to take apple cider vinegar for bioflow? Before every meal or just dinner? I would do it at least once a day, right before your biggest meal of the day. And typically that's going to be dinner. Yes. Can fasting actually make liver problems worse if somebody already has fatty liver? Fasting done right, like the way I teach it in the Fat Loss Academy, is one of the most effective ways to pull fat from your liver. So I would not be afraid of fasting if you have fatty liver. I would use it as a valuable tool. It works really, really well when done right. What are the early blood markers I can ask my doctor for if I suspect liver issues? Well, ALT, AST, GGT are standard, but again, They're looking at that through a standard reference range, and it takes years for those to go out of range. If you really want a good test done, ask your doctor for a liver ultrasound. The best way to assess liver fat, liver damage, liver inflammation, so it's called a ultrasound for the liver. What's the best way to support bile flow naturally without taking supplements? Those bitter-rich foods I mentioned are going to be great for you. The arugula, ginger tea, the whole list I gave you earlier. If you want to do that without the supplementation, those are going to be your best bet, bitter-rich foods. Now you know the warning signs. Now you know the solutions. Go take action. Hey, share this with somebody you know. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you love this lesson, you're going to love a previous lesson, a keynote I published on why doctors lied. This is the real cause of belly fat, not sugar, not carbs. You're going to want to watch this video. The comments on this video are insane. Check out the keynote. Here's a clip. Then click the video on the screen. I'll see you in that next lesson.
And what's interesting about that amount of healthcare spend, 4.6 trillion, 1 out of every $4 is spent on diabetes, primarily type 2, which is 100% preventable and 100% reversible. And get this, only 2 countries in the entire world allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise on TV.